sunrise felt so sneaky. My parents were still asleep, but I knew that my sister Harper was awake. I pulled myself out of bed, still in the pink pajamas that my grandma gave me, and crept in to see her, my own sweet, real baby doll, as her eyes opened to the day. We shared our knowing glances, sister's secrets. My mom would not want me out of bed, and my dad would be concerned that I was lifting my sister into her chair before my 7-year-old arms were strong enough. But I knew that Harper's wheelchair was our friend. My sister had her first seizure when she was just 2 weeks old, and 8 months later she was diagnosed with CDKL5 deficiency disorder. By the time she was 19 months old, Harper was suffering more than 40 seizures a day. Those seizures robbed her of her voice, and she was left to communicate by only eye and head movements. In the morning of a typical day, I was her apprentice. I would help to dress her, help fix her breakfast, and we would look forward to what the day had in store for us. I loved helping Harper. My favorite morning ritual was getting her dressed and doing her hair. I'd open her closet and rifle through her hangers to come up with top and bottom combinations, which I held out in front of her for her approval. Harper would nod her head for yes or shake her head side to side for no, accepting or rejecting my suggestions. One day, I cycled through every option in her closet. Blue shirt and shorts, Harper shook her head no. Yellow sweater and jeans, again, Harper said no. I reached the last outfit in her closet. I tried everything, twice, and she said no to all of them, twice. Exasperated, I said, Harper, I showed you every option, you have to pick something. Harper smiled and turned her head away from me. And then I laughed, because I realized Harper was teasing me, she was playing with me, and it was hilarious. I loved my sister. Harper was my best friend, and I miss her every day. Mr. and Mrs. Jafar, Dr. Lavery, and everyone at the Lulu Foundation, thank you for the opportunity to share my story as a sibling of a child with CDD. It is an honor to witness the amazing progress your organization has made, along with the support of many dedicated family groups, doctors, and researchers. I find it incredibly inspiring, and I pray that one day a cure will be found. As many of you might already know, I am Lily Howard, and I am blessed to be the older sister to Harper and our younger brother Seth. Some of you have watched me grow up in this forum over the past several years and are familiar with the advocacy of my parents, Dustin and Penny Howard. When Harper was born, I was so excited to have a sibling, to be a big sister. For the first 2 weeks, I'd give Harper pacifier when she cried and would sing her to sleep, imagining the future playmate that I would have. But things changed quickly and dramatically. One day, my family was at my grandparents' house for dinner, and the next day I returned with a backpack full of clothes to last me a week. In the coming years, I would wonder why my parents were at the hospital with Harper countless times. I remember feeling confused about why Harper needed so much more attention, but my grandparents worked really hard to fill that void and made all of those visits to their house special for me. My grandfather even invented what we called Fun Friday. He'd take me to Chick-fil-A and do fun things like go to the movies with me. Our family's whole ecosystem shifted in ways that none of us could have imagined. We were all greatly impacted by Harper's condition, even my little brother Seth. He was only 18 months old when Harper passed, and sadly, he only remembers her from pictures. After Harper's diagnosis of CDD, my parents decided to homeschool me. It kept germs away from her and allowed me to spend more time with her. And I became part of her therapies, and there were a lot of therapies. ABM therapy, speech therapy, hippotherapy. My education extended beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic. It became about life skills, skills that some kids may never learn, even when they're older. Some even might call it forced maturity. I really felt this difference when I was finally able to join extracurricular activities during non-cold and flu seasons. I liked dance, gymnastics, soccer, softball, and music, but over time I began to realize how different I was from the other kids. I couldn't connect with them. While they were making friends at the playground, I was making ketogenic snacks for Harper. My whole family experienced this disconnect from the community around us, and this isolation fueled my family's advocacy, which is why I'm standing here today. My parents formed Hope for Harper, a nonprofit that held events that attracted thousands of participants and hundreds of vendors over the years. One day when I was 6 years old, I was helping to blow up the huge balloon arch that marked the end of the 5K race, and it dawned on me that I wanted my own event too. My amazing parents supported me, and I created Love Day, a giant play date for siblings so they could experience a sense of belonging, of just being kids, and of being the center of attention for once. Harper was special, but so was I.
Can you turn the TV down?
It's complicated. When I was little, I sometimes felt overlooked, as my parents and I balanced, minute to minute, the different kinds of needs that Harper and I required. Over time, I realized it wasn't about choosing Harper over me. It was about survival and love, and that understanding shaped my view of our family and was a key moment of maturing for me. I began to feel a sense of loss for Harper, but not because she needed the most care, but rather because I saw CDD robbing her of some of the special quality time that I was getting with my family. She never got to climb into the bed in the middle of the night if she had a bad dream like I did, and she never got to tackle Daddy on the living room floor when he wasn't looking. It became obvious that CDD was creating two completely different childhoods for the both of us. I also, in a way, began to appreciate CDD. Although it introduced me to isolation, family division, and forced maturity, it also taught me empathy, compassion, resilience, adaptability, and the leadership skills that have shaped me into the person that I am today. What made the difference for me was my family's open communication. Even as they tried to protect us, my parents openly discussed Harper's needs and included me, and even Seth, in Harper's care, which I loved. I remember one of Harper's therapists did not understand or agree with my parents' approach with open communication, and she was not Harper's therapist for very long. My family was, and still is, a unified front. The life lessons I've learned are hard to quantify but incredibly valuable. My message to all of the dedicated doctors, researchers, and advocates would be, as you explore new therapies and interventions, remember that innovation doesn't just come in the form of a cure. Improvements like assistive technologies or treatments that enhance the quality of life can transform families like mine. Imagine for the impact for my little brother Seth if he had even a single year gained with Harper. As I packed my bag to come to Boston, I wished Harper could have helped me go through my closet to come up with outfits for me to consider and probably reject. I share this story to help you remember that behind every data point is a family like mine. Behind every hypothesis are siblings like me and Seth, watching and waiting for breakthroughs that will make our lives a little easier, our moments with our siblings a little more joyous, and our futures a little brighter. You have the power to make that difference, not just for the patients, but for the communities, the parents, and for all of the siblings who are sneaking around at sunrise in their pajamas to help get a new day off to a good start. So thank you for your tireless efforts and for helping keep hope alive in families like ours. Thank you.